go. So I want to do a watercolour background today. I saw this page and I thought it's going to be perfect for watercolour and show you how I do it. Now this is in, I can't pronounce it, it's the compilation of all of his Kerby books, I do believe. Now I picked this page purely because there's a lot of white space for the background. And I don't think this is too complicated. I can just stick with 1 or 2 colour schemes for the butterflies and make the bird like a swallow colour, maybe like blues. Is it eggshell blue? I can't remember. Nice blue colours anyway. But because I've learnt now, you're better off with masking taping the areas so it doesn't leak to the back of the pages. Now, disclaimer. My little girl is on half term, so if you hear banging, then she's right above me. She is just here, kicking around watching Peter Rabbit. Whenever she sees Peter or Lily or one of the characters running around, she will kick like she's running with them. So, and this is the only time I'm getting to film. So I do apologise. But I'm masking the area just around the edges, and it'll give a nice border anyway. And I've put my usual plastic sheets in the background just to protect the page. And I can masking tape it all together just like so. Now today I want to use my Paul Rubin paints. I've not used these in a little while, and I've had these now for 2 years. Now I'll show you the palette in a minute that I'm talking about, so but you can see that it's definitely a loved palette. It was actually a birthday gift that 2 years ago from my sister and my niece. They sent me the money, they asked what did I want, and I asked for some paints and they didn't know what to buy. So they just sent me the money and I purchased them off Amazon. Now is that going to line up? That should be okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this side. So actually I'm going to pre-wet my paints just using a normal, this was a dead cheap bottle, I think, like from the pound shop, literally £1. I think it was actually a hairdresser's bottle for cutting hair, but I use it for watercolour. Have I created an indent there? I bloody have. So I want to do this now because it'll take quite some time for the amount of water and paint I'm going to put on this page. It's going to take quite some time to dry. So I can have it drying and then I'll be able to work on it on and off in the next couple of nights. Let's move on to the other side. I'm thinking of moving my tripod. I'm going to have to pull my table out and move my tripod so it's not close to the wall, because sometimes when I'm filming, especially double pages like this, I know it's really difficult for you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to have a little bit of a rethink and see if I can make it any better with the limited space that I've got. Just pop it there. She's having a field day over there, but at least she's happy and I'm getting a nice break to spend an hour or so doing my art. And that's what it's all about, because if I didn't and I was sat here with kids programs on all day, I think I would crack up. She started this new behaviour as well of not liking me to speak to anybody on the phone, which is really fun. So when I'm sending voice messages to people on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, she's not happy about it. I don't know what that is all about. So yeah, it's fun, innit? It's fun. So this is the palette that I'm talking about. It's the Paul Rubin. Very nice palette. Very nice palette. It is on the cheaper side, but it's not cheap. So this cost about £50–60, whereas my Rembrandt ones I think cost me about £140. But in saying that, I've got this palette here that I used the other day, this Pretty Excellent palette, and it cost me £10 and I love it. Love it. So vibrant, these. Honestly, they are pretty excellent. They are excellent, not just pretty excellent. For the price as well. Really, really pleased with them. So yeah, I like to use a whole range. Same with my brushes as well. I can use the Arteza aqua brushes, but I usually like the aqua brushes now. I've learned now that if I'm using watercolour pencils or ink tints, I always use an aqua brush, where if I'm using watercolour, I tend to use just watercolour brushes. Now, I've got a Billy Shorwell one here that I do really like, and I've got my big Princeton Neptune number 12 that I really like. What else have I got? I've got a couple of duds that I don't particularly like. A pure squirrel one, which when I realised when I bought it, I wouldn't have bought it. But that's a Winsor & Newton one. What else do I really like? I got a new one recently, a tan. Oh, there it is. It's in my little, well, this one for little fine details, but I'm not going to use that today because it's a big area. Now, if you wanted to, you could mask up areas that you don't want to get watercolour on. So you could use something like this, drawing gun pen. Again, it's took me over a year to learn. I don't like these. I actually really dislike these. The one that was his, English. The one that was open, I've chucked away because it had all dried up. This one is a new one. So I will find some sort of use, even if I have to break it open and use it like that. But I don't like the pens. I think they're very temperamental, and you can't get the masking fluid down quick enough, in my opinion. Now, the one that I like using is this one, Valjo liquid mask, and it's about £4 on Amazon, and this is going to last me a long time. Now, I use a lot of masking fluid, but this is going to last me a long time. Now, if you are using this, you have to use it, you don't have to, but I recommend using it with silicone brushes, because these are so easy to clean off. Whereas if you don't use your watercolour brushes, but if you use, let's say, just a cheaper brush like this that I use for acrylics, it gets stuck in the bristles and you will be there forever and a day trying to pick that out, and it'll just destroy them. So yeah, use a silicone brush. Again, it was about £5 for a pack of 10 of these, all different sizes. They're not the best quality. I imagine that they're going to break in time, but they do the job. They do the job. I'm still on the hunt for the best masking tape. I do like this one. I picked this one up from the Trafford Centre when I was there, not the last time, the time before, and I love it. I love it. And then I went back and they've stopped stocking it, and they had a glitter one that my husband picked up for me, and it's terrible. And I told him that. I said, you should have asked me first. I sound spoiled, don't I? He knows what I'm like. So that's my big one. I want a medium one. So where's... I keep them all in like my nice watercolour brushes and things that I tend to use on a daily in here, and I'm missing a brush. It's another one of these. That's the Dale Arania, the one that I like, but it's another one of this brand, the Neptune one. If my son has come down here and nabbed it, I'm gonna kill him, because it's not a cheap brush and he doesn't know how to use watercolour. I don't know where it is. Right, so I'm going to have to search for that another time, but I'm going to be very upset if I've lost that, because I am quite tedious with my watercolour brushes, usually putting them back where they're meant to be. So bloody hell. How annoying. So yeah, very dirty palette. We'll start on this side. No, I'm not masking, can't be bothered. I'm being lazy. That's all it is, can't be bothered. Let's spray a little bit more on this. Now the colour that I want for the actual bird is more like these colours, like turquoise blues colours. So I think I want to do like a pink background. So we've got a nice selection of pinks here going on to purples. So I think that's what we're just going to go for it. And I'm still using the Paint Puck. I always forget the name. I love this thing, love it. It's very stained, very stained. No, I kept watering that for 5-6 days without washing it, without using it actually. And I didn't realise it would go mouldy, and it went terribly mouldy, so I did have to give it a good hot water clean and put some washing up liquid in. So yeah, be warned, don't do me, don't do what I did. Do as I say and not as I do, as they say. So I'm not even going to pre-wet the area, and I'm not even looking at my swatches. Let's just go for it. It's meant to be fun, this, and that's what I need at the moment. I need to have a bit of fun. I'm not too worried about going over the illustration because my pencils, I might even use some Tombow brush pens just to put a base down, and then a bit of pencil, and them brush pens are really, really pigmented, so I've got no issues there. So I want a light wash of this all over. I feel really, really rusty doing this actually. Let's just make sure that it's really, really nice and wet. Like I said, don't worry about the illustration, but it will crease your paper, this, but you could always iron. I'm sure I did a video actually of me ironing pages, if it bothers you. If I can find it, I will link it somewhere around here or in the description. I might even have to do more of an updated one of that, maybe. So yeah, all I can do is apologise for Isabel having a good time. She's it makes more of a racket because a bed is a specialist bed and it lifts up like a hospital bed. So because of the mechanisms and stuff that are in that bed, it makes a racket. But it's either this or no videos. So popping a bit of purple in there, just here, there and everywhere. Not worrying too much. I might do a little bit of a salt effect on this as well. Maybe, maybe not, we'll see. Because the salt effect, I'm going to have to wait till it completely dries to show you the result. And ideally, I need to get this video edited and up in the next... It needs to be edited today and finished, and then it'll be up probably tomorrow. Because I've not got a chance to film tomorrow, I'm out all day. So I hope my dog Rolo is going to be okay. It sounds like it's caving in, but I promise you it's not. So into the purples. I don't bother mixing any colours, I just, you know, go straight in. But if you've only got a small selection of colours, you know, go ahead and pre-mix your colours. Or if you're using tube paints, that would probably be easier. And now I've got that down, I'm going to start pulling some of that colour up. Now, this is a watercolour paper, so it's not going to act the way that I particularly want it to. I mean, it's already creasing and you can't get the nice blends, but we'll pull it off. We'll pull it off what I want it to do. Now, I just want clean water, as clean as I can get it, and splash that on. And that will give us some good effects as well, without adding any more paint. And that's that side done. And let's move over to the other side. So actually it doesn't look like I'm going to be using that other paintbrush, but where is that nice brush? I use that all the time. I'm going to cry if I can't find that, or at least be very, very, very upset, because I don't want to have to buy more. That masking tape is lifting up a little bit there after me singing its praises. So in with the pink. Get a nice layer of that all over. Please don't worry, I say this all the time, it's a colouring book. If it's not there to have fun, what's it there for? No. Now, because I've done that with this side, I'm going to go over the whole of the illustration, because if I don't do that and I add Tombow pens later down the line, then there'll be a different colour. If I do it, colour it here and then colour it here, it'll be a different colour. So that's the reason that I'm doing this right now. Let's pull some of that up. Especially if you're working with watercolour, you've sort of got a no pun intended, go with the flow sort of thing. You know, you can't be too, well, you want it here and you want it there and you want it everywhere. Somewhere. You've just got to let the paint decide what it wants to do itself, and it most certainly will. So some of this purple as well around there, blend that out. And I know it looks really, really messy now, and you're probably thinking, oh my god, what's she doing to that page? But I promise you, it comes together. And because I'm working super duper fast, I'm not getting any pilling, if that's the right word. So let's pull some up in certain areas, maybe around his face. a little bit up here, and I'm just scrunching, pushing down. Do not rub, you will destroy the paper. Just place down firmly and pull back up. I'm tired listening to her. Right, so clean water again. I might use the heat gun on this, but just a little, just so I can show you the end result. Because like I said, I need to get this video edited and up because I'm busy tomorrow. A little bit on this side again, but you get the idea. And that's that. So let me just get my little heat gun or my hairdryer, one of the two, and then I'll give it a quick once over. So I've dried that enough, I think, enough. Now I think what I'm going to do, if you're interested, I will film this page from start. I'll even add this bit in to finish, but I'll just pop a little bit of something over the top, some music, and it's ripping there. That masking tape, after me saying that, let's try this side. Yeah, so I'll film this. It'll probably take me a couple of days, but I'll pop it all together for you, just in case you're interested. So we are having issues up there now. I think I'll use the dryer again and try and melt some of that glue, just to see if I can get it off a little bit cleaner. Now, I have had this happen before and it's ripped the paper ever so slightly. Now I use, if I can find it, this little, it's called Quickie Glue. It's just a little pen, and this works perfectly for when issues like that happen. So let's try and get this off without any problems. So far so good. I'll let you wait in a minute, dog Rolo. I need to check the fence. Yeah, my fence is blown down with this stupid weather we've been having, which is fun. So let's try this top bit now. This is where I'm a little bit nervous. We're alright so far. Right, so it's just that one patch over there that we're having the issues with. So let's try and go from the opposite side. Carefully pull it off. So it's just that one little bit there. So I'll remove the plastic sheets. They're not needed now. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I just show you there, you see how the papers come off because of the masking tape. Now use some of this glue, just test it, just make sure that it's working, which it's not. Of course it's not. Now that I want it for a video, it's not working. So let me get it working and I'll come back. Right, so as soon as I'd pressed stop, it started working again. So it comes out blue, which I like, and then you know where you're placing it. Am I zoomed in enough there for you? There we go, there we go. So there's where it's come loose. The camera might decide that it doesn't like being this close up, but we'll just work with it and see. And then just push the paper back down. Let's put a bit more at the top. And just push the paper back down, and that should dry quite flat to the page, and you know, we shouldn't have an issue with that. And if I hadn't have shown you, you probably wouldn't have noticed anyway. But that's how I solve that issue. Now, it has bent a little bit. Let me just move this, and then I'm not making another mess with paper ripping. So, it has bent a little bit. If I move it up, you can see the crinkles and stuff. Now, you could iron this. And you know, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me when this happens. But you could just iron it. But I will do this on camera, I think, and then you can see the whole effect. But because I added that clean water to the already painted areas, look at some of the effects that it's achieved. And it's so easy, it's so easy. If you're not 100% sure what to do with the background, and this was quite a decent sized background, it's just created, and it's a nice texture as well. There's just different things, different colours mixed together. Let's have a look at this side. So yeah, it's I think they're called watercolour blooms. Oh, there's a lovely one there. you just see here and then right at the tip. Lovely ones there. I'm sorry if this makes you feel sick. I just want to show you up close and personal with it. And then some lovely ones here. I'm sure they're called watercolour blooms. I could be wrong. But yeah, look out for that video. I'm not 100% sure when it'll be out, in a couple of days, maybe next week, because it will take me 2 or 3 days to sit down and actually colour this image. But I will probably put in the end of that video or in the description actually how long it took me. Like in hours or something. I'm thinking this will probably take me about 4 or 6 hours because I am a fast colourist. I always have been, and I get very bored if I'm having to spend hours and hours and hours and hours on a page. So that's just a really easy watercolour background for you. I mean, anybody could do that. Use them pretty excellent paints. If you've not tried this before, I really do recommend them. I will try and find, the last time that I looked on Amazon for them paints, I couldn't find them, but it looks like they've been rebranded. So if I find the rebranded ones, I'll pop them in the description, because if you've not got watercolour paints and you want to try this effect, try them paints for £10. You cannot go wrong. So yeah, look out for that video. Take care, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.